The stars above Earth burned quietly, unaware that history was about to fracture. The alien fleet arrived without warning. One moment, humanity's telescope saw empty space. The next, the sky filled with shapes so vast they blotted out constellations. Hundreds of warships drifted into Earth's orbit with mechanical grace, black hulls edged in glowing blue veins, moving as if space itself obeyed them. Panic spread across the planet in minutes. Satellites failed. Communications flickered. Governments scrambled. Fighter jets launched but were instantly frozen in midair by invisible force fields. Missiles shut down before ignition. Every weapon humanity pointed upward simply stopped. Across the globe, people stared at the sky in silence and terror. Then the message came. It appeared on every screen, every phone, every billboard, translated flawlessly into every human language. A towering alien figure filled the display. Tall, armored, with 4 glowing eyes and a crown of crystalline spines, it radiated cold authority. "I am High Executor Varkel of the Dominion Ascendancy," the being said, voice echoing like stone grinding against metal. "Your species has been observed, catalogued, and judged. In the Dominion's distant councils, humanity had been classified as primitive class Delta, violent, divided, technologically immature. Useful only as labor or genetic stock." Varkel continued. "Earth lies within territory now claimed by the Ascendancy. You will surrender your planet, your skies, and your military authority within one standard cycle." Pause. Then the words that froze the world. "Compliance will ensure your survival. Resistance will result in extinction." The transmission ended. Inside the United Earth Council chamber, chaos reigned. Leaders shouted. Generals demanded action. Scientists argued probabilities. Religious figures prayed openly. A massive hologram of the alien fleet rotated above the chamber. Each ship larger than Earth's largest cities. "They shut down our entire defense network in seconds," a general said, voice shaking. "We don't even understand how." "They outgun us by centuries," another added. "This is not a war. It's an execution." But at the far end of the chamber, a woman stood silently. Dr. Elena Ward, chief strategist of Earth's Unified Defense Initiative, studied the hologram with calm intensity. She was not a politician. She was not a soldier. She was a problem solver. "They want surrender," she finally said. The room quieted. "That means something," she continued. "A species capable of wiping us out instantly doesn't ask first unless there's a reason." One of the council members scoffed. "Or unless they enjoy humiliation." Elena shook her head. "No. Empires don't posture unless they fear cost." The idea hung in the air, fragile but dangerous. Light years away within the Dominion Ascendancy High Conclave, the mood was confident, almost bored. Varkel stood before a circular chamber of alien rulers, insectoid tacticians, crystalline scholars, towering reptilian warlords. A holographic image of Earth rotated slowly at the center. "The humans will kneel," said arch-strategist Xwer, a thin, mantis-like being. "Their history is chaos, division, self-destruction. They wage war among themselves constantly," added another. "Such species always submit." Varkel nodded. "Still maintain orbital control. No unnecessary losses." Earth was not considered a threat. It was a formality. Back on Earth, time ran out. 12 hours into the ultimatum, the alien fleet demonstrated its power. Without warning, a single Dominion vessel fired a narrow beam toward the moon. There was no explosion. No sound. A perfect, glowing line cut across the lunar surface, and a massive section simply vanished, reduced to drifting dust. Billions watched live. Humanity understood the message. Fear turned to anger. Protests erupted. Some demanded surrender. Others demanded resistance at any cost. In a quiet underground facility beneath the Arctic ice, Elena Ward stood before a small group of scientists and commanders. This was Black Vault Zero, a place that officially did not exist. "We can't beat them head-on," one scientist said. "That's obvious." Elena nodded. "So we don't." She activated a display showing human history, wars, disasters, recoveries. "We are not the strongest," she said. "We are not the most advanced. But we are unmatched in one thing." The screen shifted to show human innovations born from crisis. Adaptation. A commander frowned. "You're saying we trick them?" Elena smiled grimly. "I'm saying we survive long enough to learn." As the ultimatum neared its end, Earth sent a response. Not surrender. A transmission. The Dominion fleet intercepted it easily and routed it to Varkel. A human appeared on the screen, Elena Ward. She looked small compared to the High Executor, but her voice was steady. You came here believing we were weak, she said. You are correct about one thing. She leaned forward. We are underestimated. Varkel laughed, a deep echoing sound. Then you will be remembered only as another failed species. Elena's eyes hardened. History will decide that. The channel closed. Above Earth, alien weapons powered up. Below, humanity prepared something the galaxy had never seen. The war for Earth had begun. The first shots of the war were fired in silence. Across Earth's orbit, Dominion warships ignited their weapons, releasing streams of blue-white energy that bent space itself. Human satellites evaporated instantly. Orbital defense platforms, pride of Earth's united fleets, were torn apart like fragile glass. From the Dominion's perspective, it was exactly as predicted. Primitive resistance. Futile. On Earth, alarms screamed through command centers as holographic maps turned red. We're losing orbital control, a naval officer shouted. Elena, a general barked, we need authorization for full counterstrike. Dr. Elena Ward stood at the center of Black Vault Zero, watching feeds from every front. Her face remained calm, almost disturbingly so. No, she said. The room froze. No, the general repeated. They're tearing us apart. Elena's fingers danced across the console. Let them. Several officers stared at her in disbelief. We expected this, she continued. Phase 1 proceeds exactly as planned. Human fleets launched anyway, but not with pride or power. Old destroyers. Outdated cruisers. Ships pulled from reserve docks that hadn't seen combat in decades. Their weapons fired wildly, missing targets or doing negligible damage against Dominion shields. To alien observers, it looked like desperation. Within the Dominion flagship Ascendant Wrath, High Executor Varkel watched the battle unfold. They send antiques, he said with amusement. Their fear has overwhelmed their logic. Arch-strategist XYR clicked its mandibles. Minimal threat detected. Losses insignificant. Varkel nodded. Crush them quickly. And this. Dominion cannons roared. Human ships died by the dozens. Explosions blossomed like dying stars. Thousands of sailors perished as hulls split and oxygen vanished into vacuum. Earth's citizens watched the destruction live, despair clawing into their hearts. Humanity was losing. Exactly as planned. Deep within Black Vault Zero, Elena turned to her team. Activate Ghost Net. A young engineer hesitated. Once we do this, they'll see our data trails. They'll see what we want them to see, Elena replied. Across Earth's remaining networks, a hidden system came alive. GhostNet was not a weapon. It was bait. Artificial intelligence constructs began flooding Dominion sensors with massive amounts of tactical data. Fake fleet movements, false weapon signatures, simulated panic transmissions. Entire human armadas appeared to reposition, retreat, or collide in confusion. To the Dominion it looked like chaos. To Elena it was a map of their minds. They're prioritizing targets based on perceived threat, she said. Notice how they ignore the debris fields? The scientist zoomed in. Yes, they assume it's harmless. Elena smiled slightly. Mark that. As the battle raged, something strange began to happen. Dominion targeting systems lagged, not failing but hesitating. Human missiles, slow and primitive, were being allowed dangerously close before interception. XYRR tilted its head. Their reaction times are improving. Varkel dismissed it. Instinct. Even animals learn where fire burns. But deep within the Ascendancy fleet, Dominion systems began recording anomalies. Human ships altered tactics mid-fight, rerouting power in unexpected ways, sacrificing entire squadrons to expose shield weaknesses. Their formations shifted rapidly, refusing standard patterns. They are learning, XYR said cautiously. Varkel's eyes narrowed. Too slowly to matter. Then came the shock. Near the orbit of Mars, a human cruiser, badly damaged, engines failing, drifted helplessly toward a Dominion frigate. The alien vessel ignored it, classifying it as debris. The cruiser detonated. Not with a weapon. With its reactor. The resulting blast overloaded the frigate's shields for a fraction of a second, long enough for hidden human minds previously masked as wreckage to activate. The Dominion frigate shattered. Silence filled the Ascendant Wrath's command deck. XYR's voice trembled. That ship was used as a weapon. Varkel stared at the tactical display. They sacrificed it willingly. Yes, XYR replied slowly. Deliberately. For the first time, Uncertainty crept into the Dominion fleet. On Earth, cheers erupted in command centers. "They got one," someone shouted. Elena raised a hand. "No celebrating." She zoomed out the display. "We didn't win a battle," she said. "We planted a question." As the first day of war ended, humanity had lost over 60% of its orbital fleet. The Dominion had lost only 3 ships. But something had changed. Dominion commanders began adjusting strategies more frequently. Their confidence was still intact, but now layered with caution. Within the High Conclave, news spread. "The humans fight like a cornered species," one ruler said. "Unpredictable. They disregard survival probabilities," another noted. "This is inefficient." Varkel stood in silence, watching recordings of human ships ramming enemies, detonating themselves, adapting mid-engagement. "They do not fight to win," he said slowly. "They fight to learn." Back in Black Vault Zero, Elena addressed her exhausted team. "Phase 1 is complete," she said. "They think we are reckless, emotional, desperate." She looked at the projection of the Dominion fleet. "They believe we are showing our worst." Her voice hardened. "Tomorrow we show them our best." Far above Earth, the Dominion fleet repositioned, tightening its grip. They believed victory was inevitable. They had no idea they were already losing. The void of space stretched endlessly, dotted with glowing stars and drifting debris from shattered ships. Earth's fleets were battered, but the human command ship Dauntless cut through the darkness like a blade of defiance. Captain Elena Reyes stood on the bridge, eyes fixed on the holographic map projecting alien fleets advancing on Earth's outer colonies. Every dot represented not just an enemy vessel but lives, human lives, hanging by a thread. "Status report," she demanded, her voice calm but edged with steel. Lieutenant Cairo's fingers flew over the console. "Alien fleets are reorganizing. They've encountered unexpected resistance at Proxima's rim. Our ambush worked, but they're adapting faster than we predicted. Their dreadnoughts are altering formation, moving in a 3-pronged assault." Elena clenched her jaw. "Good. Let them adapt. Let them underestimate us. That's exactly the mistake we want." On the bridge, the crew of humans worked with almost choreographed precision. Every soldier, every officer, moved with a calm urgency that belied the chaos outside. Sensors picked up alien communications, high-pitched, rapid bursts of language no human could normally decipher. But the AI translation module caught fragments. Primitive, unpredictable, dangerous. The aliens were panicked. They had expected Earth to surrender months ago. Instead, humans fought with precision, using the environment, the debris fields, and even failing satellites as weapons. Far away, on the flagship of the alien fleet, Supreme Commander Thalkesh roared in frustration. His multi-limbed form shook with rage. "How can these fragile creatures be so cunning? They should have fallen like the Zorthen colonies. We did not prepare for this level of adaptation." His officers, trembling, whispered of humanity's odd tactics. Ships suddenly disappearing only to strike from behind, electronic warfare that disrupted alien communication, and soldiers boarding vessels with a ferocity that made veteran aliens flee. Meanwhile, Elena turned to her second-in-command, Commander Jace Morrow. "Deploy the Phoenix squads. They know the asteroid belts around Delta 9. Make the aliens think we have nothing, then hit them from all sides. Use the gravitational pull to our advantage. Timing is everything." Jace nodded. "Understood, Captain." Phoenix squads ready to jump. Within minutes, human fighters darted like fireflies through the asteroid storm. Alien dreadnoughts fired massive plasma beams, but the humans wove between rocks, disappearing and reappearing, striking with surgical precision. Explosions tore through alien hulls. Shouts and alarms echoed across human comm channels. Victory tastes bitter with the cost of lives lost, yet exhilarating with the thrill of survival. On a remote planet, diplomats of the Galactic Concord watched the battle unfold via quantum transmissions. They whispered among themselves, disbelief in their tones. "Humans, these humans, they are rewriting every rule of engagement. They shouldn't exist on this level of warcraft." Back on Dauntless, Elena's eyes narrowed at a blinking alert. "Jace, the outer flanks are falling back. Prepare the counterstrike. I want every alien vessel in range marked and targeted." As human cruisers emerged from cloaked positions, they unleashed waves of pulse torpedoes. Aliens screamed in fury as their shields failed under the relentless human assault. Dauntless led the charge into the heart of the enemy fleet. Elena's voice rang out over the comm. "Humans do not surrender. We adapt. We fight. And we win. Remember that." In the midst of the chaos, an alien warship broke formation, approaching Dauntless directly. Through the comm channel, a distorted voice boomed, "Humanity, cease resistance. Surrender Earth, and we may allow your species to survive." Elena's lips curled into a grim smile. "You should have taken that offer months ago. Now, you're going to regret underestimating us." With a swift hand gesture, she launched a coordinated strike. Alien weapons melted under human plasma fire. Boarding shuttles deployed and human marines poured into the enemy vessel. In minutes, control of the warship was seized. Its commander, trembling before Elena, could only stare as she spoke calmly. "You thought us weak. You thought Earth was defenseless. You thought wrong. Humanity doesn't just survive. We dominate when cornered." Back in the alien flagship, Supreme Commander Thalkesh screamed orders in desperation, but his fleet was in disarray. The humans' resilience and cunning had shattered the rigid structure of alien strategy. Every human move, calculated or instinctive, revealed a species that thrived in unpredictability, and aliens could not counter what they could not predict. Elena's eyes scanned the holographic battlefield. Her voice was steady, but her heart raced. "This is only the beginning. We make them respect Earth. We make them fear humanity." Somewhere deep in space, an alien observer whispered to another, "We've never seen a species like this. They should be insignificant. Yet, they terrify us." Humanity's fire had lit in the void. The galaxy would soon learn. Never underestimate the species that adapts, endures, and strikes when least expected. And for the first time, Earthlings were not fighting for survival, they were shaping destiny. The galaxy was wide, and yet humanity's reach was spreading faster than anyone expected. After the stunning victories at Delta 9 and Proxima's Rim, the news of human resilience reverberated across alien empires. The Galactic Concord, an alliance of species that prided itself on centuries of war mastery and diplomacy, convened an emergency council. Hollow projections filled the chamber, each representing a species with forms both beautiful and terrifying. Tentacles, scales, iridescent skin, bioluminescent eyes, yet all shared the same expression: disbelief. This cannot be," said Lord Kaeldar of the Zyran Dominion, his mandibles clicking nervously. "A species so primitive with no history beyond its planet, now striking fleets like storm gods?" An older diplomat, a being of crystalline composition known as SH-Ril, tilted her head. "They adapt faster than our algorithms can predict. They exploit weaknesses we never thought could exist. And they are not afraid of death." In orbit around Earth, Captain Elena Reyes listened to the human intelligence reports. Aliens were sending envoys, but they approached cautiously. Every communication was laced with tension and veiled threats. Humans, now aware of their growing reputation, had no intention of surrender. Instead, the Council of Earth devised a bold strategy. Commander Jace Morrow entered the bridge of Dauntless, carrying a sealed transmission. "Captain, intercepted. The Concord wants to negotiate. But their terms are laughable. They demand complete human compliance, disarmament, and subjugation." Elena's jaw tightened. "Compliance is the death of progress. Humanity doesn't kneel. Prepare our counter-proposal. And make it memorable." The message was sent, not with threats but with calculated precision. Human fleets positioned themselves at key interstellar choke points, visible to alien scanners, yet leaving openings that suggested weakness. Then, without warning, humans launched small, unpredictable strikes, disabling alien refueling stations, capturing supply convoys, and, most importantly, broadcasting every move across the galaxy. The alien leaders watched in horror as these weak humans executed maneuvers that defied centuries of military theory. Every failed prediction shattered their confidence. "Impossible, they should not be able to coordinate at this scale," muttered Thalkesh. Meanwhile, Elena convened the Earth Council in orbit. The chamber hummed with tension. "The aliens think we are unorganized," she began. "They believe we fight without strategy. That is their mistake. We are chaotic, yes, but chaos in human hands is precision they cannot calculate." Dr. Aaron Kess, the chief strategist, added, "We exploit their fear of unpredictability. Every planet they threaten we use to bait, trap, and dismantle their forces. Humanity is a mirror, reflecting their aggression back upon them, amplified." The plan was audacious. Humans would engage in political theater, allowing some alien envoys to believe they were negotiating peace, while simultaneously preparing for devastating counterattacks across multiple systems. On the alien worlds, whispers began among those who had doubted humanity. Merchants, civilians, and minor commanders observed the humans not with contempt but awe. "They are unstoppable," murmured an alien trader watching live feeds of human ships navigating asteroid storms, flanking massive dreadnoughts with sheer ingenuity. At the same time, humans on the front line executed risky maneuvers with devastating effect. The Phoenix squads, now legendary across the galaxy, struck isolated alien outposts. Human technology, simple yet devastatingly effective, combined adaptive AI systems with human intuition. Ships repaired themselves mid-battle using nanotechnology. Tactical decisions that would take alien fleets hours were made by human commanders in seconds. Elena's calm, calculating leadership was central. She communicated with her fleet not as a ruler, but as a partner, empowering officers to think freely. This trust allowed human ships to act unpredictably, coordinated by intuition and battlefield experience rather than rigid protocols. Meanwhile, in the Galactic Concord's chambers, alien leaders grew desperate. A vote for total invasion of Earth was blocked by those who feared complete annihilation. No species wanted to be the first to fall to the humans' unknown potential. Political infighting erupted. Some argued for appeasement, while others demanded preemptive extermination. Thalkesh, in a rare moment of vulnerability, communicated with his Supreme Council, "These humans are the apex predators of strategy. We underestimate them at our peril. Every day we delay is another day they grow stronger, smarter, more terrifying." Back on Earth, Elena listened to the intercepted Alien Council debates with a grim smile. "They're learning, slowly, too slowly," she said. "We'll make sure they regret underestimating us. Humanity is not just surviving this galaxy, we are claiming it." As night fell over Earth's orbit, human fleets glimmered like constellations against the void, poised, ready, unbroken. The war had become as much about mind as it was about firepower. Every move was a chess game played with stakes higher than life itself, the survival of humanity and the recognition of its true power. The galaxy, vast and ancient, had encountered humans and expected weakness. Instead, it faced strategy, ingenuity, and a ferocity that would echo across centuries. And somewhere in the depths of space, alien commanders whispered the truth they could not admit aloud. Humanity cannot be ignored. Humanity cannot be defeated. Humanity will change everything. The void was alive with fire and metal. Alien dreadnoughts, once symbols of unstoppable power, now moved like frightened prey. Humanity's fleets, smaller in size but deadly in precision, struck with coordination that no alien commander could anticipate. Captain Elena Reyes stood on the bridge of Dauntless, watching the holographic battlefield. Explosions flared across multiple star systems simultaneously, lighting up the darkness like supernovas. Each strike had been planned, yet each maneuver carried an element of unpredictability, a signature of human warfare that made the aliens uneasy. "Report," Elena commanded. Lieutenant Cairo's voice was calm, but tension hung in the air. "Outer flanks secured. Phoenix squads are harrying the Zorthen vanguard. They've begun retreating but only into traps we've set. Scans indicate alien morale is fracturing. They're arguing amongst themselves." Elena's lips curved in a small, grim smile. "Good. Disunity is our ally. Never let them recover cohesion. Continue pressing every advantage but keep casualties minimal. We fight smart, not recklessly." Meanwhile, in the alien high command, Supreme Commander Thalkesh bellowed in frustration. "Why do these humans resist every tactic we have? They move faster than our simulations. Their ships strike where no logic says they should." An officer, trembling, replied, "Commander, they are unpredictable. Calculating risk in ways our models cannot predict." Thalkesh's many limbs shook with rage. "Then we adapt. We must crush them before they grow bolder. Prepare the main fleet for the final assault on Earth." Elena, anticipating this, had already laid a counter-trap. She turned to Commander Jace Morrow. "Phase 1 is complete. Phase 2 begins now. Activate the Black Star arrays. The aliens will think they are attacking our defenses, then we collapse their fleet from within. Timing is everything." The Black Star arrays, massive human-built stations hidden in asteroid belts, hummed to life. Energy beams, invisible at first, latched onto alien dreadnoughts, disrupting shields and power cores. Alien ships exploded from within, their own weapons turning against them as human forces exploited precise weak points. "Target their command ships," Elena ordered. "We decapitate the fleet and the rest will crumble." In the chaos, human boarding teams executed maneuvers that had never been attempted before. They penetrated alien ships' hulls, using magnetized grappling systems to move across voids like predatory shadows. Alien commanders, faced with humans on their own decks, panicked as strategic decisions were overridden by sheer human ingenuity and courage. On one flagship, an alien admiral, Zartok, stared in disbelief at a human lieutenant, his vessel's critical systems failing. How can these creatures be so? The lieutenant, holding a plasma cutter like a blade, responded simply, because we survive. Because we adapt. Because we fight until the last breath. Elsewhere, the Galactic Concord watched in awe. Alien races sent urgent messages among themselves, attempting coordination. But humans had anticipated this. Disinformation campaigns, fake fleet signals, and controlled ambushes ensured alien fleets attacked phantom targets, wasting time and resources. Elena, from the bridge of Dauntless, observed a live feed of the outer colonies. Human civilians had been evacuated weeks before, but now their ingenuity played a part. Automated mining rigs and industrial drones were repurposed as defensive weapons, creating mobile artillery platforms. Every planet became a fortress, every human an unpredictable agent of destruction. Thalkesh's rage reached a fever pitch. Destroy them. Every system they occupy, every ship they fly, annihilate it all. But humans had already anticipated desperation. They triggered controlled collapses of asteroid fields, creating cosmic maelstrom that crushed alien fleets as easily as leaves in a storm. Human tacticians had turned the galaxy itself into a weapon. Amid the battle, Elena contacted the Concord envoys. Her voice was calm, commanding. You underestimated humanity. You thought we were weak. You thought Earth could be surrendered with threats and demands. You were wrong. Humanity is neither fragile nor predictable. We adapt. We endure. And now, we are taking the fight to you. In the alien fleets, panic spread like wildfire. Officers argued, soldiers deserted, and dreadnoughts were lost faster than they could be replaced. The humans' combination of cunning, adaptability, and audacious strategy was shattering centuries of alien assumptions about superiority. Meanwhile, human morale soared. Every victory, every ship captured or destroyed reinforced the truth. Humans were apex predators of the galaxy, not through sheer size or technology alone, but through intelligence, ingenuity, and unbreakable will. By the end of the first cycle of battle, entire alien fleets were crippled. Thalkesh, humiliated and desperate, faced a truth he could not deny. Humanity was no ordinary species. They were a force the galaxy had never seen. Elena watched the aftermath, stars glowing from distant explosions. Her voice was calm, but inside, a storm of satisfaction surged. We've shown them what humans can do when they are pushed to the brink. The galaxy will never underestimate us again. Somewhere, in a hidden chamber of the Concord, alien leaders whispered amongst themselves. These humans, they are something else. We were fools to think they were primitive. We were wrong, and we may all pay the price. The fire of human resistance had ignited a storm across the stars. Humanity was no longer defending Earth. They were shaping the future of the galaxy, one decisive, breathtaking move at a time. The galaxy shivered under the weight of human resolve. After the devastating strikes of the previous cycles, alien fleets were scattered, and the Galactic Concord's unity had begun to crumble. Some races sought appeasement, others plotted revenge, but all feared the humans who had shattered centuries of perceived superiority. Captain Elena Reyes stood on the bridge of Dauntless, her eyes scanning the chaos projected in the holographic map. Hundreds of ships, both human and alien, blinked across star systems like sparks in a storm. Intelligence reports streamed in faster than any human could speak, yet her mind absorbed it all with uncanny clarity. Commander Morrow, she said, voice steady, the final strike is ready. Every system we've mapped as a critical supply hub or command nexus is within range. We hit all at once. Timing is crucial. Our enemies cannot recover if we are simultaneous and decisive. Jace nodded. Phoenix squads, orbital artillery, and automated drone wings are primed. Civilian evac zones secured. This is the moment we've trained for. The humans were no longer merely defending, they were asserting control over the galaxy. Alien dreadnoughts, scattered and demoralized, struggled to regroup. Their technology was advanced, but it was rigid, predictable. Humans, through a mix of intuition and calculated chaos, exploited every flaw. Meanwhile, Supreme Commander Thalkesh convened what remained of his council. His limbs shook in fury. They are everywhere. Every system we thought secure is compromised. Our fleets fall before our eyes. And still, they grow bolder. How is this possible? An officer, trembling, replied, Commander, their coordination defies our models. Each attack is perfectly timed yet unpredictable. They are evolving in real time. Thalkesh roared, a sound that shook the chamber. Then we adapt. Crush them. Strike their capitals. Leave no sanctuary. But human intelligence had anticipated desperation. Every alien maneuver was met with traps and countermeasures. Humans controlled not only the battlefield but the flow of information. Alien commands were intercepted and redirected, leading dreadnoughts into ambushes, planetary mines, and even gravitational anomalies designed by human engineers. On a remote planet, a squad of human marines led by Lieutenant Arya Chen infiltrated a vital alien command station. Using a combination of stealth, hacking, and adaptive combat tactics, they disabled the station's defenses, turning alien automated weapon systems against their own fleet. Within hours, entire sectors of the Concorde's forces were incapacitated. Elena watched the simulations in silence, then spoke to the Council. This is more than a battle. This is a message. Humanity cannot be contained, cannot be subjugated, and will never surrender. We are rewriting the rules of this galaxy. As human fleets advanced, the aliens attempted a desperate gambit. A superweapon capable of obliterating a planetary system. Thalkesh had invested centuries into its development, believing nothing could rival it. Elena's eyes narrowed. They're going to try it. Prepare the countermeasures. If they strike, we must respond immediately. Using a combination of quantum jammers, precise missile strikes, and synchronized sabotage missions, humans neutralized the weapon moments before activation. The alien crew panicked, retreating into escape pods while their superweapon was destroyed by the very trap they had planned for humanity. Across the galaxy, alien morale collapsed entirely. Civilian populations watched human fleets not as invaders but as unstoppable protectors and masters of the void. Even species that had opposed humanity began negotiations, not from strength but from fear and awe. In orbit above Earth, Elena received a direct transmission from the shattered Concorde Council. The message was formal but trembling. Humans, you have proven beyond all doubt that your species is supreme. We offer parley, allegiance, and recognition. The galaxy is yours to guide. Elena turned to her bridge crew. We've earned this not by surrendering but by standing against impossible odds. Humanity survives because we are relentless, cunning, and united. We take nothing for granted, and we show mercy only when it serves justice and order. Jace Morrow smirked. Supreme Commander, then? Humanity as the central authority of the galaxy? Elena's gaze swept across the stars. Not just authority. Stewardship. We protect, we challenge, and we ensure that no species is underestimated again. That is the lesson the galaxy must learn. In alien capitals, leaders who had once mocked humans whispered to each other in fear and admiration. They were primitive, we were arrogant, and now, they are unstoppable. And on the bridge of Dauntless, Elena allowed herself a rare moment of satisfaction. Humanity had faced annihilation, betrayal, and overwhelming odds. And yet, they had risen, not just to survive but to dominate through intelligence, adaptability, and an unyielding spirit. Stars glimmered like witnesses to the triumph. The galaxy had learned its most important lesson: never underestimate humanity. A species forged in the fire of survival, tempered by ingenuity, and driven by an unbreakable will, had claimed its place at the apex. Elena's voice, calm but filled with authority, echoed across the bridge. We are human. We endure. We conquer. And we lead. The galaxy, vast and ancient, had been forever changed. Humanity was no longer a minor player, it was the defining force, a species capable of reshaping the cosmos with intellect, strategy, and an indomitable spirit. And somewhere deep in the void, alien commanders trembled at the truth they could no longer deny. Humanity had arrived and nothing would ever be the same. The galaxy, once a stage of uncertainty and endless conflict, now waited in tense silence. Alien fleets, scattered and demoralized, had begun to formally surrender, but humanity did not celebrate lightly. Every victory had been hard-won. Every step forward had been earned with courage, cunning, and sacrifice. Captain Elena Reyes stood on the bridge of Dauntless, gazing at the vast expanse of space before Earth. Stars shimmered like distant witnesses, each system a testament to human tenacity. Below, Earth thrummed with life and industry, rebuilding faster than the galaxy had ever imagined, preparing to lead not only through force but with vision and intellect. Captain, Commander Jace Morrow spoke softly, the Concorde's envoys have arrived. They seek a formal alliance, submission acknowledged in writing. They are fearful but cooperative. Elena's eyes narrowed. Fear will keep them in line, yes, but respect will ensure loyalty. Humanity must guide, not merely dominate. We do not destroy what can be improved. The envoy ships of the Galactic Concord appeared, sleek vessels of exotic design, reflecting the diversity of alien civilizations. Their leaders, once proud and unyielding, now approached cautiously, sending formal greetings and requests for peace. On the bridge, Elena initiated a secure channel. I am Captain Elena Reyes of the United Earth Fleet. Humanity has proven its power, adaptability, and resilience. The galaxy is no longer a playground for arrogance. We extend recognition and cooperation, but any act of betrayal will be met with immediate and decisive action. We offer guidance, protection, and shared prosperity. Refusal is an option, but not a wise one. The alien leaders, their faces a mixture of fear and awe, listened silently. Some tentacles twitched nervously, some eyes widened in disbelief. One of the oldest members of the Concord, Ashril of the crystalline species, spoke first. Humanity, you have shattered expectations. You have defied centuries of precedent. We will accept your terms. The galaxy will follow your lead. In the outer systems, human fleets continued patrols. But now their presence was a symbol not of invasion, but of authority and reassurance. Alien worlds that once feared annihilation now regarded humans as protectors. Former enemies were integrated into councils where human strategy guided galactic governance. Elena turned to her officers. This is the moment we prove we are more than conquerors. We are leaders, protectors, and innovators. The galaxy is vast, but humanity's principles are clear. Intelligence, ingenuity, and perseverance must guide every decision. We do not merely survive, we inspire, we enforce, we advance civilization. Meanwhile, Thalkesh, the once proud supreme commander, was exiled to the outer fringes, stripped of command. He stared at the remnants of his fleet, reflecting on his failure. They were supposed to be weak, insignificant, disposable, he muttered, shaking. Yet they became everything. Everything. Across the galaxy, human ingenuity reshaped worlds. Planets devastated by war were rebuilt with speed and efficiency. Automated terraforming projects restored ecosystems. Technology was shared selectively, advancing civilizations in ways the Concord had never imagined. Humanity's apex was not just military, it was intellectual, cultural, and strategic. On Earth, celebrations were muted but profound. Survivors remembered the losses, the sacrifices, the families and friends who had fallen in the fires of war. And yet, hope flourished alongside grief. Children looked up at the stars knowing that humans had not only survived, they had conquered without arrogance, without cruelty, and with the brilliance that defined their species. Elena stood once more on the bridge of Dauntless, gazing at the galaxy she had helped secure. We have earned this, she said softly. Not because we are the strongest, but because we are the smartest, the boldest, and the most adaptable. The galaxy underestimated humanity, and they paid for it. Jace smiled, leaning beside her. Do you think they will ever forget us? Elena's gaze was unwavering. They will not. Humanity's name will echo across the stars. Not as tyrants, but as a species that turned impossible odds into triumph. That refused to surrender. That became the apex. And this is only the beginning. From orbit, Earth gleamed like a jewel, surrounded by fleets of human and allied ships. Alien worlds sent emissaries to learn, observe, and align themselves with humanity's vision. Trade routes flourished. Scientific collaboration exploded. Wars ceased not because humans were merciful, but because their intelligence, foresight, and precision made resistance futile. In distant space, a small group of alien scouts recorded the final transmission from Dauntless. Humanity survives. Humanity adapts. Humanity conquers. Not by strength alone, but by will, intellect, and unity. This is your future, guided by humans, shaped by humans, and forever changed by the species that refuse to be underestimated. The galaxy, vast and ancient, had been forever rewritten. Humans had claimed their place at the apex, not through mere firepower but through strategy, resilience, and indomitable spirit. And as the stars stretched into infinity, one truth remained undeniable. Humanity had arrived. And nothing and no one would ever be the same.